hold on. You watched Saki?
Yeah.
And you gave it a 7.
Saki. That's the one with things on his ear.
That's the yeah.
Oh no,
the mahjong one.
Yeah, that's the body pillow we have outside.
Yeah.
I watched that.
You've actually watched
You've
that.
actually watched it? I didn't even watch that.
I watched all of Saki, and I at the end I was like, I'm gonna understand mahjong, and at the end I was like, I don't understand mahjong. I'm like, but there's golden wind and shit going on and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know. So okay,
again, it just doesn't seem like a show you would watch.
I watched all of Persona 4 the animation.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
But you've never played Persona 4,
Never
right?
played Persona.
Why would you do that?
I didn't. I'll be 100% honest with you. At the time, I legitimately didn't know it was a game.
That's like that. Wait, did you watch Danganronpa as well?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he did. He
Have you ever played Danganronpa?
Gave it a 4.
I have played Danganronpa. I thought the anime was actually
okay.
dog
That's
shit.
fine. That's fine.
For the shows that I haven't rated, you can ask me and ask me what I'd give it.
Okay, what would you give a No Game No Life?
Oh, that.
Ooh, if I was 14,
Yeah.
a hard 10. Bro.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, of
Now,
course.
now like a 7, honestly.
7? Okay.
Yeah, it's about there. I would say.
What'd you give Excel World?
Like a 4.
What would you give
3,
another?
Like a 1.
All right.
Another was shit.
Well, you watched Biga to HK as well?
You know, okay, actually, I did. I love Big Out of HK.
Yeah, that is funny.
That's actually like a fucking great series.
I only read the manga,
I can tell you exactly why I watched Another as well. Because I was talking to a girl at the time, and she was like, of course, my favorite show is Another. It's the best show. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch this show because I'm trying to like simp. I'm trying to simp here, so I'll try it.
Yeah.
Another was kind of like the true crimes documentary of the anime community back then. You know what I mean?
Because everyone knows white girls love true crime.
Yeah.
And before they get into true crime, they're a little younger. They're like, Another. Yes.
Yeah.
Erased. Yes.
Yeah.
All these shows that I love.
It's just like, yes, I too like Final Destination and watching trashy horror movies. I can do that all day long. That's literally what Sydney gets me to do whenever I like.
Okay, I'll give you props though that you watched Claymore and gave it a 9.
Honestly, I loved Claymore.
Claymore's fucking awesome.
Man, that is one of the animes that got done most dirty.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I'm surprised you gave it a 9, because Claymore manga, I can
Claymore
definitely
manga 9 or 10.
Claymore manga masterpiece.
Yeah.
Anime not
The
so
anime,
much.
the anime made me like feel things that I hadn't felt before, man. I was like,
What does that mean?
like a level of uncomfortableness that I haven't like experienced before.
Yeah,
like I don't know why. There's something so unnerving and uncomfortable about watching Claymore.
I felt that when I watched Berserk.
Yeah,
so
right.
I know
Like
what you mean.
it's like kind of it like fucks you up a little bit, and
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
can tell
yeah.
like. I honestly, I wish I'm gonna try my best to try and read the manga, but I said I was gonna read something.
I
else
recently
earlier.
rebought all the manga just because I want to read it again. Because
What was the other fucking show I said I was gonna read the manga of earlier?
I have no fucking clue.
you finished Actual 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I
the one
wanted
after that?
Well, I actually downloaded like
Where's
the
Me
first.
Pumpkin, was it? No.
No. I was gonna read that, but I actually downloaded the first 30 chapters of One Piece, being like,
Oh, he's getting into
But I haven't had the stomach.
Mark it in your calendar.
I haven't-
Sea Dog VA starts One Piece.
Listen, I'll tell you when I start. But I haven't.
Mark it in your calendars and come back to us in 10 years' time and we'll see where he is.
But honestly, like Claymore is a fucking amazing manga, one of the best mangas out there.
Honestly, I really
the
do
anime
love
did
it.
it dirty. So
Is the manga finished? Like totally all wrapped
ages
up?
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like 22, 23 volumes, something like that.
And because like the Claymore anime had a anime original ending, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
it did.
Yeah, and it was complete shit from
Yep.
what I remember.
Yeah.
I remember having a good time. I watched the dub, and I remember the voice acting was Greg Ayres was like playing the whiny character as he always does, and I think he was a little too whiny in the anime for my taste.
I mean, that's just Greg Ayres.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. He's
like-
too fucking good at his job.
No, because like I remember that was like I swear he was typecast in that role for like the longest fucking.
Well, because
time,
there were
right?
so many of those characters, and no one else could do a voice like him
Yeah.
of like sounding whiny.
Yeah.
And so it was
Yeah.
always him doing the whiny character.
I will say a record 7 out of 10.
Honestly, when I watched that, everyone was talking about the show like Jesus had came down himself and brought a show.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I thought, honestly, this is kind of shit. Like it's good, but like it's kind of fucking boring. Like
Is that how you felt about
honestly, now I would give it a 6.
Is that how you felt about Ergo Proxy as well? You gave that a 7 as well.
Ergo Proxy, I remember I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Again, this doesn't seem like an anime that you would watch.
No.
Like, Ergo Proxy is the last anime I would think Connor to watch.
It was like watching, like, you know when you go to a modern art museum and you look at this shit, you're like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. That's what I felt
That's
like.
what I mean.
That's what I felt like watching Ergo Proxy.
You saying that you watched Ergo Proxy is like the same amount of like, what the fuck I would get if you came up to me tomorrow and said, so I watched Serial Experiments Lane.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been wanting to watch that for a while. I just haven't had the opportunity to be like, I want to waste a day.
Yeah.
Like, and not really enjoy
And
it.
have a brain that's
Well, 'cause
hurting.
I feel like you watch shows like that to come out with like just your brain being like, what? But like
Yeah.
that's not fun half the time, so I don't really
Right.
look.
I mean, it is fun depending on your mood because
Yeah.
I remember like it took me ages to watch Serial Experiments Lane, and then I was just in this weird mood where I'm just like, I want my mind to be fucked up. That sounds like a fun experience right now.
Yeah.
And then I did
want a challenge.
Yeah, it's like me with Yasmi Pun Pun. Like I'm waiting to wake up for the day where I'm just like, I want depression right now.
Yeah.
why,
You know,
why the fuck did I give this anime? What's
Mao
the-
Mao Yusha.
Yeah, I
What
noticed
the
that.
fuck?
Why would you? I was about to say you gave that a 9, and I'm like, was it the MILF titties? Is that what it is?
It
must
real?
have
It must have been the MILF titties.
That's all I remember from
You
that
know,
show.
that gets a little 2 bonus points. But I think again that was in the same weekend that I watched the other show on the Crunchyroll 48 hour.
Right.
account.
Because I remember Mao Mao Yusha was like Studio Arms, and if you don't know Studio Arms, they were
do
like
not know Studio
they were
Arms.
like famous for being a hentai studio that like transitioned
Yeah.
into anime.
Well, that's
and,
probably why it connected a little bit.
and I mean that was like one of the first shows they produced that was an anime that was seen as just not complete trash. But I wouldn't call it a fucking 9 out of 10.
I remember
either.
there's little sexual things going on or something like that. Some vibes of little MILF stepson kind of
I
thing.
mean,
going on.
that was. I'd say as an impressionable teenager, I can see why you connected with that on a personal level. You know,
connected with that.
He connected with it.
but yeah, I think that's pretty much everything because you haven't rated a lot of these.
I would bump Kill la Kill up 1 for getting me into hentai. That's the only thing I would.
Really?
Kill la Kill is what made me be like, you know what?
Anime girls are hot.
I'm like, you know what? Is there hentai of this? And there was. And that's how I was like, oh, this is good.
That's why you need to get into the doujinshis, man. Come on.
We're gonna get him into that eventually.
Yeah. You can
we want to
recommend
turn that into
some.
an episode.
Eventually.
Wait. Okay, then if you liked Mao Yusha, did you like Log Horizon?
I loved Log Horizon is one of my favorite shows.
Okay, that makes sense because it's written by the same people.
Ah.
Yeah, it's written by the same
I'm
people.
actually hyped, even though I think I need to rewatch a little bit of Log Horizon Season 2.
Yeah.
I remember I fucking loved the world.
Yeah.
Like in Log
Yeah.
Horizon. It was
World
fun.
World
man.
was fucking
Yeah,
great.
Tono Mamade is a fucking amazing, like, I don't know how they, like, fucking write stories
Like, I'm
or, like,
glad as
worlds
well.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's,
I'm
it's
also
great.
I'm also glad that the show didn't like fucking blow its load like immediately and like
Yeah.
start telling us everything about it. Like,
Yeah.
I love it when the shows tease us with the world. Like, here's a little crumb,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
crumb
yeah.
of knowledge, and then they just don't mention it for a few episodes. You're like, oh shit, yeah, we're in a fucking video game. And I forget,
Yeah.
keep
We're
forgetting
in a
that.
video game.
Because I remember Log Horizon. I remember watching the first 2-3 episodes of it. Dropped it immediately because I'm just like,
Really?
What is this beta Sword Art Online, man? What the fuck is this? Because like the worst thing about Log Horizon was that one, like the animation is like
It ain't great. It ain't great.
it's like the most typical 5 out of 10 animation. This is
Yeah.
just a throwaway
Yeah.
seasonal show. And the first 3 or so episodes were like the most generic kind of introduction you
Yeah.
could get to a world.
Yeah.
And it didn't start getting interesting until they properly started explaining like the game mechanics
Yeah.
and seeing the game mechanics being broken like within this world was just so fucking interesting. And
Yeah, that whole arc where like there was a guy who could kill in the villages.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
And like
Yeah.
what really sold me immediately was like when they first discovered that they could make things taste good, and then they like invented
Yes.
the burger.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, yo, this is really fucking interesting. This isn't even an isekai. This is just like an entrepreneur business fucking anime. This
Well, that's
point,
what
right?
Mao Yusha was as well. It was basically just like a business textbook for weeks.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
How the fuck do you guys remember what happens in these like 7 out of 10 shows, bro? The moment something isn't like exceptional, I'm like, that's going in the
Yo,
fridge.
Log Horizon's not a 7
That's
out of 10
going-
Horizon
show.
is not a 7 out of
Log
10.
Horizon
Like,
ain't-
forget like the
as-
Mao you would have whatever the fuck it's called. That went straight in the let's forget everything.
Mao Yusha was cool because again, it was like done by Tono Mamade, who's like somehow can like make you learn shit while reading these stories. I don't know how he does it.
I think I have
It's
really
like Spice and Wolf, right?
It's like Spice and Wolf, exactly. Like the reason why I love Spice and Wolf because like I actually learned like proper like useful business skills.
It's like,
from
wait a
reading it.
minute, I'm just getting horny over this wolf waifu,
Yeah.
but I'm
Who's a
learning.
marketing genius?
But I'm learning things about economics. That's not that's not legal. That's not allowed. What are you doing?
I can't be horny and smart at the same time. That's not how that works.
I just feel like I have like amazing brain compression. Like My brain zips
does
them
that mean?
like, you know how like when you compress a file to like lower the memory it takes up. That's what I do with anime immediately when I'm done. I'm like, zip that shit up, put it in storage, forget about that thing. And then when I rewatch it, it's like unzipping the file. I'm like, oh yeah, this did happen. Yeah.
Has this man like min-maxed his brain?
I actually think I've sorted the storage on my brain appropriately.
You've got a sorting algorithm, literally just for anime. My fucking god.